What do we do when we don't have high energy or high drive? Drive being that motivation, that discipline, that work ethic, that grind it out, that go, 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 and accomplish whatever goal or habit that you set out to do. We don't take this into account, and it's not something that's often talked about. Not everybody has the same level of drive or energy. And those of us that are in the average, which is the majority of us, those of us that are in the lower end of drive, will compare ourselves to people that are just hardwired differently. They are just really go-getters, motivated, disciplined, and workaholics oftentimes. And we don't realize that even comes with a price, that the workaholic approach to life has many, many sacrifices, and sacrifices with family, sacrifices with hobbies, sacrifices with friends, sacrifices with mental health, sacrifices to your physical health. There are huge costs and consequences to it. And oftentimes people that are workaholics are those go-getters, those people that in society we idolize, the Elon Musk, the Steve Jobs, or anybody that just, the 10Xers, they're just people that just grind things out and really, really motivated and disciplined. If it makes them happy and it's something that brings them fulfillment, more power to them. But we don't realize a lot of people, it's an addiction, work and accomplishing goals and being hyper disciplined and rah, rah, rah. It's exhausting, and it could be coming from a dark place of trying to overcompensate for your perceived insecurities or defects, or trying to prove yourself to the world. Steve Jobs was adopted, and I think that had a big part on a lot of the things that he did in his life and his successes and his work ethic. And we're all different, and the self-help and self-development books don't really focus on that. They don't have a program. Hey, here's a program for you to follow if you have a 7 out of 10 drive. Here's a program for you to follow if you're a lower end of the drive, 5 out of 10. Here's a program for you to follow if you're 8, 9, or 10 as far as your energy and drive. And when it's not segmented like that, and we are unable to follow their programs, we then beat ourselves up and we compare ourselves to other people that are able to do it and feel like we failed, or that we're lazy, or something's wrong with us, or that we're broken and we need to fix ourselves, and we don't have self-discipline. And you really need to account for what level of drive you have, and then make appropriate goals according to your drive and your energy. Energy is a big part of it as well. And if you have average level of drive, set realistic goals for yourself. And I get this often in coaching. Quick plug, my name is Steve. I am a life coach. Been coaching for 10 and a half years. This is my full-time job, and my prices are incredibly, ridiculously affordable. The consultation's free. The consultation's free. The first session is 50% off, and the sessions after that are extremely affordable. If students whom I coach can afford it, anybody can afford it, and everybody benefits from coaching. Even if you think, oh, my life is going pretty well, that's not what coaching's for. It's not only for people that lives may not be going as well as they thought or want. It's for everybody. There's always room for improvement and growth. So send me an email. It's in the description if you're interested in it, and absolutely no obligation. Back to the message. When I'm coaching people, I get a lot of people that bite off more than they can chew, that they say they want to develop new habits, they want to develop new goals, they want to accomplish things, they want to be in a relationship, and we'll work on little homework assignments. Okay, you want to get that? Well, this is what you have to do, in between our sessions, and I'll hold you accountable to it. And sometimes they'll struggle with it. Sometimes they won't get it accomplished. Sometimes they'll give in to their addictions, their screens, and other addictions that distract them. And their bad habits just overtake them. But there's a myriad of reasons why people don't accomplish their goals. And some things that people don't calculate is, and being honest with themselves, looking in the mirror and say, hey, you know what? I don't have a high level of drive. And oftentimes that's something that will come to the realization in coaching, and it's not something to feel bad about. It's actually when clients and I are able to come to this conclusion, hey, your energy level is here and you continuously set goals up here and it hasn't worked for you in the past and you've constantly felt bad about yourself, let's set goals within your budget. Just like we all have a financial budget, we all can't buy Ferraris, we all can't buy $1 million houses, so we have to be realistic with ourselves. If you have low to average drive, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. You can still accomplish many, many things. You can have a rewarding, fulfilling life and a career and hobbies and a healthy lifestyle, but you just got to dial it back a lot than what other people with high levels of energy and drive might accomplish. And even looking at like dogs. I love dogs, and when I take my dogs out to the park, my dog is very calm and relaxed, and you'll see other dogs that are just high energy, running around, barking, wanting to play. My dog is very chill. And she was like that from a young age. And other people might say, oh, I'm really jealous that your dog is so chill and relaxed. Yeah, she's chill and relaxed, but she's not the fastest runner. She's not the most energetic. And everything comes with pros and cons. But it's something that we don't necessarily romanticize, or people on social media don't promote themselves and say, hey, I'm really chill, I'm really relaxed, I don't have a lot of drive, but I have a high quality and enjoy my life. Because that's right in what is ordinary. And ordinary doesn't get views, ordinary doesn't get likes, ordinary is not what becomes popular. What becomes popular are people on the outliers. People that are like, they wake up at 4:30 in the morning and they're working out, and then they're working 8, 9, 10, 12 hours a day, and they're reading books, and they're taking all kinds of notes, and they're putting out all kinds of content and material. And that is great for them, but they are an outlier, and they are hardwired differently. So really, this is about accepting ourselves and embracing ourselves, and then working with our strengths and weaknesses. Now, if you do have low drive or low energy, there are things you can do to bump it up. But it might not be a complete makeover. It might bump you up 1 or 2 points, but that's good. And if you have low to average drive and you want more drive, what you have to do is be very stingy. Be very frugal about how you spend your energy. And I think that's something that we don't take into consideration throughout the day. How am I spending my energy? And what am I getting myself involved with? What am I obligating myself to? What type of work and responsibility things am I possibly overwhelming myself with? What type of distractions do I engage in, which also depletes the gas tank? If you have a low gas tank, just be very cheap about how you spend it. And having a daily plan is very effective, because then you can focus on what your priorities are. You want to tackle your higher priorities early on in the day when your energy tends to peak, and you want to learn how to say no to things. I think that's a big problem, is we just don't say no to stuff. And we say, oh, this is just an exception. I'm just going to do this one more thing. I'm going to do this one more thing. And I wrote an email out this morning, and it took me, I probably spent about a half hour on writing it. It was more of a longer email. It was a half hour, and I'm like, God, that required mental energy that I spent. Was it worth it? What's my return on investment? And I realized afterwards, I probably could have come up with a much simpler email, and it would take me 10 to 15 minutes in order to conserve energy. And that's, you get those little savings throughout the day. That is a big bump that can allow you to focus and accomplish the things that you want in life. So prioritizing is really important. And the other thing is if you have low energy, you've really got to take care of your physical health. Getting good sleep, eating nutritious, healthy foods, exercising, doing those things is again going to bump you up another 1 or 2 points. And if you're doing that consistently, you'll see a gradual, steady increase in your energy level, and you'll be able to accomplish more things, and you'll feel better about yourself. And a lot of times when I'm working with clients, the thing that is the elephant in the room is they're not taking care of themselves so that they can accomplish what they want in their lives. And so that would be the first thing as a coach that I would work on. Okay, let's work on your sleep, let's work on your nutrition, let's work on your exercise. And having some accountability and having someone that can show you actually how to succeed this time when you set out to do these things, and not have them be like New Year's resolutions where two weeks later we're back to our old habit patterns. The other thing that factors into this is someone's drive is how content they are. If you have a high level of contentment and you don't need a lot of money, you don't need a lot of possessions, you don't need fame to be popular, you don't need external things to make you feel good about yourself, your drive is naturally going to diminish. And I find as I get older, those things are less and less important to me. And so I've found my joy or my contentment comes with living a very simple, minimalistic life, which makes me fulfilled, and it actually makes me happier and more content than having a lot of things, or having a busy life, or having a life where my schedule's just jam-packed. Just doesn't work for me. And so one of the reasons, if you're questioning, hey, why is my drive not as high as I want it to be, maybe you don't even realize that you're actually satisfied with your life. Because nothing will drive your drive like discontentment. That's a great motivator when you're discontent. And for people that are content with a happy, simple, minimalistic lifestyle, yeah, you just don't need much. Like, hey, if I go out, people will say, if I go out and earn another $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, it's not going to really significantly improve my quality of happiness. And studies have even proven that. The number I've heard is about $75,000 a year for a baseline of happiness. I think that's even high. It depends how you live, but you can live a very minimalistic, simple life that doesn't cost a lot of money and be quite fulfilled and have a rich, exciting, adventurous, if you want, well connected with friends and family. You could create the life that you want. And it's just about knowing yourself and knowing what works for you and knowing what doesn't work for you and makes you unhappy. And I just see it too often in coaching that people really struggle with self-acceptance. And that's part of what brings that peace, is just knowing what your limitations are and then just working within those limitations. That's a wrap. Thank you for tuning in. If you are interested in coaching, please feel free to email me in my email's in the description, and comment are greatly appreciated. Likes and subscriptions also greatly appreciated. It's really hard to get traction on YouTube these days with small channels like this. So anything you can do to support the channel is greatly appreciated. Spread the word. If you'd like to make a donation, there's a PayPal link also in the description. Until next time, bye-bye.